Alright, here's the M1 Garand. If I were to sell this thing for what it cost me and the time I've put into it, I'd be selling it for like 500 bucks. But obviously, you know, with the new M1 Garand G&G and the other one on the market, it's no longer worth that. You know, you might as well buy one of those at that point. But for the price I'm going to give it to you, I think it's worth it. This is where the mag goes in. Again, this is modified to be smaller. Can't take M14 mags anymore, but it'll take those modified shotgun magazines. Alright, here it is. You got the original gas cylinder on there. Complete assembly. These things alone are worth about, you know, $60 to $100, somewhere around there. Got the original wood parts. Or these are actually reproduction, but they're made for a real M1 Garand. So the stock itself is an M14 stock, but it's been heavily modified to look like an M1 Garand one. I'll show you the details here. This part here is actually wood that I screwed on there with 2 screws, and then it was filled in the seams here with epoxy and Bondo. Right here, the receiver has been heavily modified. Like right here is a piece of plastic that I plastic welded in place and then smoothed out with epoxy. This area here has been modified too. It used to be, there used to be kind of an indent there from the M14 stock. I filled that in to make it just look smooth like an M1 Garand would. The receiver itself, as you can see, has been heavily modified to look like a Garand receiver. Right here, the ejecting clip ejector switch, I added that. That is from American M1 Garand, and I cut out a hole for it, glued it in there. This space was carved out using a Dremel, same with that spot there. This is basically, looks exactly like an M1 Garand receiver now. You can't really tell a difference. Took a ton of work to do that, and I had to buy the American M1 Garand part. I've spent so much on this gun, it's ridiculous. As you can see, it has an original M1 Garand butt plate that I bought. Actually, it's probably reproduction, but still looks way better than the M14 one. Right here, as you can see, was filled in. The M14 latch used to like go over there, so I filled that in. The way I did it, I got a piece of plastic and I plastic welded it. It's a lot stronger than Bondo. It's got an original sling mount right there. Most conversions do not have that. So essentially what you'd be getting is the parts you need for the conversion. It would be pretty much all done. You'd have to buy an M14 and you'd have to modify the barrel. The barrel is the only thing you'd have to modify. Everything else, you know, you could just pop in and screw together. So basically the same deal on this one. The stock isn't quite as accurate to the original, and neither is the receiver. It doesn't have the American clip ejector. It will come with the sling mount, though it's not on there. This will be painted before I send it to you and stained. This is kind of rusty and beat up, the butt plate. It's an original. The other one's a reproduction, but it works and it looks cool.